Hello, and welcome to another video. Today I'm riding out of a different area I usually go through. I'm leaving out through the Levee Trail at the Farnsley-Moremen Trailhead. It's part of the Louisville Loop. So the Louisville Loop, if you're not aware, in Louisville, Kentucky, they have a series of running, walking bike paths that run through the city. And I think the goal is to connect them all, so you can go from, one end to the other via bike or something if you really wanted to. But they have it around different parts of the city, and I've done a lot of stuff on the Highlands side or downtown Louisville, or those areas. And this is in the south end of Louisville, off of Dixie Highway. This is, I think it's just called the Levee Trail now. It used to be called the Ohio Levee Trail, or the Ohio River Levee Trail, I think. But this is just the section that goes from the Farnsley-Moremen Landing, which is like a historic home, and it will go down to the Greenwood boat docks, which is a boat launch ramp that gives you access to the Ohio River. It's also a park, kind of. They have playground facilities for kids. I think they have the spray ground as well, just where there's, the big sprinklers or fountains that have water coming out that you can access. And I'll be riding from the Farnsley-Moremen Landing portion to the Greenwood boat docks portion. And it's very windy, so hopefully it's not too windy. Because it's quite windy, and it's, off and on stormy, and on the way riding here there was, intermittent rain off and on. So I'm also hoping to get through this kind of quickly and not get rained on. Because I think, so I'm riding, I don't know if you can see this Segway 9-bot Max scooter. I can feel some raindrops. It's a electric scooter just because it's quicker than riding through here on a bicycle. There's nobody coming. And I don't have to load up the e-bikes and go through all that rigmarole. Oh, it's starting to rain. And on this path, when you're going, you'll pass Mike Lenig's, or as everybody refers to it, Mike Lenning's, which is a popular restaurant that has fish, fried fish, in addition to burgers and chicken and, other stuff you could want. I know it's a relatively popular spot that when I was in high school, a lot of my friends worked at for some period of time. I did not. And this, I believe that when I checked it on Google Maps, the distance between the two sections that I'm going to today was about 3.6 miles, I think, or somewhere between like 3 and 5 miles. There's apartments over here now that didn't used to be there when I was younger, because this also is kind of in the PRP area. which spent a lot of time in these areas. I used to come down through here years ago and go on bike rides with my parents. And then I hadn't come through here in recent years as often, which is why some of this stuff, like those apartments, I hadn't seen before. And then the expressway that's to the right is the Greenbelt, which connects to the Gene Snyder Freeway. Make sure there's nobody coming. I think over the years there's been a lot of additional stuff that's been built up out here in terms of like the running, cycling paths. So there's more to do out here than there used to be. Then the restaurant over to the right is Mike Lenig's. Then you can go there and get some food. Then if you go to the left, you can go down close to the riverfront, the Ohio River. And then on the roads that are over here, there are a lot of factories and industrial buildings. Yeah, so the Ohio River Levee Trail is what it's called. And two, which I'm sure if you're watching this, you're aware of, I recorded on 2 GoPros on this ride. One of them was the GoPro Hero Max, which is on top of my helmet, which is a 360 camera. And then the other camera that's on a chest mount is a GoPro Hero 8 Black. Standard GoPro. So that way I could get, the view of what's going on in front of me, be able to capture the audio, and have a 360 camera to be able to get any necessary footage from the left or right, give a little bit different view to some of this stuff. And as long as I'm able to get this ride done and get back before the weather gets too rainy, my plan is to also walk around the Farnsley-Moremen Landing building a little bit, because they have tours, but it looked like there was a special or private event going on back there, so I may not be able to go through there. And there's train tracks through here. There's people that have, homes that back up to this trail. It's kind of like a raised flood wall area. In the winter, when it snows, people probably come down through these areas to go sledding. I don't know if this... I don't think there's any, I think that just goes back to business. I don't think there's any trails that you can access via there. Now, like I said, I haven't been through here all that much in recent years, but in the past, it wasn't very uncommon when you're going through here for someone to roll through on a ATV or a dirt bike, or, four-wheeler, dirt bike, whatever. which, you know, hopefully is being done safely. This, you know, it's an electric scooter, but per the city and state laws, this should be categorized as a bike and allowed to use any paths that bicycles can. ATVs, not so much. Because people also would come through before and, you know, off-road vehicles and ride around and tear up the landscape. And then too, so this is the, you know, Louisville, Kentucky side, but on the other side of the river, you have the casino, which over the years has gone by different names. It's been Caesars, it's been Horseshoe. I honestly don't remember what it's called right now, because I have not been there in a while. But it's on the other side of the river. I think we're approaching the boat docks portion, where you can launch your boat out into the Ohio River, which can be pretty rough. Can be a pretty rough river to be out on a small boat. Because you have, you know, river barges and larger industrial boats. So if you have a small runabout or fishing boat, you can get kind of tossed around the water a little bit. And again, I hope that the wind noise isn't too bad on this, because it's pretty windy. So I'm wearing a full face helmet, mostly just because I wanted to be able to bring the GoPro Max, and it has the mount on top of the helmet. Because on this scooter, there aren't a ton of places to mount a camera compared to a bike. Because recently on my other bike, the Super 73, I did a ride around video where I just attached the GoPro Max to the back of the bike, which you can just, I had a mount that just attached to the frame, so that was super easy. But scooter doesn't have any surfaces like that. You can only really mount stuff to the handlebars, then you don't get as much of the 360 effect. But yeah, it looks like we're at the park portion. I might actually just ride down this main road instead of going down that path. Yes, they've done a bit of updating since the last time I was here. You always go through and get the weird looks you get. Plus the river might go down closer to the river. Yeah, so this has all been updated since the last time I came through, which would have been years ago at this point. Yeah, that's the Ohio River. The skies are pretty dark. So I'm going to go back up to the top.
You don't need nothing.
And then I think they've extended the trail. I don't think I have the battery or the time to go super far. I'm trying to avoid getting caught in this storm. But I think they've extended the trail to go further out. And then, coming over to the left, it's they do fire training. So it's 3.7 miles to get back to the Farnsley-Moremen Landing. Again, you can just see the nice storm clouds. Hopefully it holds off long enough for me to get back to my car. And then some of the other rides I've done recently, we did a video about Iroquois Park, about some of the urban legends and true crime stuff that had happened there. Did a video where we went to the Poplick train trestle. As far as I'm aware, there's not really any stuff like that related to this area. I mean, most areas in the world, somebody has died or been murdered, but not really one to try to dwell on just any random person's misfortune. It's just more going into places that have more historical context to it that could be of more interest and things to learn about. But yeah, but this is just a nice scenic ride on this trail. Going back to the Farnsley-Moremen Landing. Now, I've never been through here at night, like on this trail. As with most trails, I don't know that that's recommended to do by yourself. Although it can be fun to go on night rides places. It's just tough to know what to expect in some of them. In terms of if people hang out there at nighttime and undergo some nefarious activities or partake in nefarious activities. And over here to the left is some sort of power station, which is a smaller one. Yeah, so if you're in Louisville and I guess, I usually ride stuff in the Highlands area or go downtown. Went to like the Poplick train trestle, which is out in the parklands. There's also Beckley Creek Park, which is attached to that I went to. I've done rides downtown on the Ohio River Greenway, which is on the Indiana side of the river. It's a trail that goes from Jeffersonville down to New Albany. But this is, a different area of town. This is over in, the PRP, Dixie Highway area of Louisville. Pretty nice trail. It's pretty nice and upkept. This is much better kept than the portion of the Louisville Loop that goes down through the Portland area, downtown Louisville, which is where I had done a couple of videos going through there. So this is much better kept up than that. Nice clean trails that don't really have any debris on it. It's off the road, so this isn't the situation where it's a bike lane in that it's just some lines painted on the shoulder of a road. This is actually like a raised, separated area that's just for pedestrian, cyclists. Like I said, this is an electric kick scooter, but per the laws they'd introduced to legalize the rental service scooters, it authorized any scooter that has a top speed of 20 miles per hour or less, 750 watts or less of power, and that weighs under 100 pounds, and that has a headlight and taillight if you're going to ride at night. That qualifies you as a legal low-speed electric scooter that's allowed to use bike paths. So that's why I brought this out here. And with any of this stuff, so, if it's a scooter, an e-bike, a one-wheel, electric unicycle, any of that type of stuff, the main thing is just to be courteous to people on trails and not or run someone off the road. Because everybody always complains about, oh, you're going to ruin it for everybody when you do this or that. I think a lot of times the biggest thing that's actually going to force, aside from like New York or, maybe California, big cities that have a ton of pedestrian traffic and utilization of stuff, it's mostly just are people getting injured or hurt seriously and causing, insurance claims to be paid out and police to be called and safety hazards. Those are the things that are going to get people to more heavily scrutinize a lot of the vehicles. So those are the, things to try to avoid. Try to avoid running into people. Which, pretty common sense. You don't want to run into anybody anyway. Fill a few drops of rain. So I'm just trying to get back before the downpour starts. I think I passed those cyclists on the way out. That's an example of, so if you're coming up to possible congestion, you just slow down a little bit. Going a couple miles per hour slower for a few seconds doesn't hurt anybody. I may not be able to explore the Farnsley-Moremen Landing buildings all that much if it is kicking up a storm. I think this thing is partially waterproof. It's got a rating to be water resistant, but if you can avoid riding stuff in direct rain, that's probably best. Because the rental service scooters, they get left out in the elements 24/7, so you'd assume those have to be pretty waterproof, or else they would just be ruined quickly when they get rained on. Those are also owned by a large corporation where it's not much to repair or replace parts. I suppose if you own it personally, you don't want to spend that money. Getting back, and it's starting to rain a little bit more. Hopefully it hasn't gotten on any of these GoPro lenses. Yeah, because on the way out here when I was driving here, I was kind of outrunning the rain on the ride, and I was hoping I'd be able to stay ahead of it. But it's catching up. And then it's supposed to rain in this general area for the next, or there's a good chance of rain for looking at the weather at my phone the next week straight. So I want to go get a ride in and figure out, get some video of it and go somewhere I haven't gone very often. So if you want to go on a, 7.5, 8 mile round trip ride, you can park at, either the Greenwood boat docks or the Farnsley-Moremen Landing and go from one end to the other. If you want to go further, the paths can go further. I believe they go further in each direction and connect out. Because I think if you keep going, this will take you out to some neighborhoods that take you back closer to Dixie Highway. Yeah, so it's starting to rain a little bit more, so I probably will not do any additional exploration. I'll just be getting this scooter in my car before it gets soaked. Oh no, it's starting to rain more. This can't go faster, it's going full speed. Some wildlife. It's like one thing that, has been a side effect of the pandemic is it's caused people to go, a lot of parks partially closed to vehicle traffic, or there was just less through traffic at times. So you saw more of the wildlife flourishing. Oh, gotta get back to the park. I don't know what that is. Looks like a church almost. I'm getting closer back to the original place I took off from. And the beep sound is this has cruise control turned on, so once you've held the throttle at the same speed for 5 seconds, it'll engage cruise control and hold your speed, which initially seems like it might be an annoying feature for it to beep often, but also, in practice is very useful. If you're riding it on paths like this where you can maintain a speed for a while, you don't have to hold your finger on the thumb throttle. Alright, I'm almost back. It's starting to rain more. And I had brought a drone with me, but if it's raining, I probably won't get to use that. Hit the throttle. Almost back. And it's not hit a torrential downpour yet, so that's still good. I would assume that the 360 GoPro on the top of my helmet is probably getting covered in water and not easy to see, and the one on my chest has a bunch of water on it. So I'll wipe those off when I get back to my car. All these birds. Watch out, birds. Alright. Don't think there's a train coming. Yeah, so since it's raining, that'll wrap up this ride where I went from the Farnsley-Moremen Landing to the Greenwood boat docks along the Louisville Loop or the Ohio River Levee Trail area. But until next time.